Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike and this is Bushlore Knives. In this video I'm going to do a batch build of 5 Bushlore knives. They're all complete right now. This is after the fact. I'm getting ready to edit the video. But I do have my Etsy page up and running and I wanted to let you guys know in case you don't make it to the end or you get bored of me. The store is easy to find. It's bushratknives.etsy.com. Bushratknives, no spaces, .etsy.com. I'll also link it in the description below. And before we go forward, please take the time to hit that subscribe button. Maybe shoot me a comment or something. It really helps out the channel a lot. I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. I'm going to do the Bushlore build of 5, and then I'm going to do the Rat Bastard build of 5 next. I'm not going to have them all as one video. I'm going to try to keep it short. I'm not going to bore you guys with a lot of fast forwarding of sanding and whatnot. I'll show you what I'm going to do, then I'll just continue that 5 times until I get my 5 knives. So I'm just going to show you snippets of what I'm doing and get it done, and then when it all comes together at the end, I'll show you guys all the knives that we made. Off camera, I marked the steel. I wanted to get as many of these out of 1 meter of steel that I could, because like my grandmother always said, if you keep playing with it, it's going to fall off. I'm going to go over to the bandsaw. I'm going to cut this piece off, and then I'm going to cut the rest out. We'll do a short montage. Let me get my ears on. Hey Siri, play Zach Bryan. Well, all right, so I'm going to finish that part and finish that cut and then do that 4 more times. So we'll be back then. I finished those up. I got the other 4 cut out. Some rough cutouts here. What I'm going to do next is take these over to the 2x72 and I'm going to sand them to the right size. I'm not going to show you all 5 of them, but the process is going to be the same for the other 4. I squared up my table, got my belt on there, and I'm going to go ahead and start grinding away. Alright, there we go. I'm going to do the other 4, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to mark our center lines. I was worried about catching the house on fire a little bit, but it's been a couple minutes and nothing's smoking, so not that I can see. So anyway, got those done. Got 5 knives cut out. The next step obviously is I'm going to mark my center line and mark the holes for my pins and lanyard hole, put a sharpening choil in them. I know the woodlore doesn't have a sharpening choil, but it's not a woodlore, it's a bushlore. I like sharpening choil, so it's got a sharpening choil. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to put where I want my scales to be. I'm going to mark where I want my pins to go, and then I'm going to put a sharpening choil in there. All right, scales to come up like that. All right, so we'll go ahead and punch those. Now I'm going to take it over to the sander, sand down to those lines. These are kind of far apart for my liking, but you get the idea. We'll move on to the sharpening choil. I'm going to go drill these holes. All 5 of these bushlores are going to have Corby fasteners, so I need to drill a 4mm hole through the metal of the blade. Alright, so my lanyard hole, I'm going to do 6mm. The outside of my Corby fasteners is 6mm, so I want this to be the same size. I'm going to drill other holes through here just to lighten this up a little bit and have some pass through for the epoxy. All right, now I got a chamfer. That's done. We go ahead and repeat that 4 more times. So I finished all 5 of those, or I finished the other 4, and I got a bunch of knives that look like this now. So what I'm going to do now is take it over and sand down the flats on all 5 of these. I'm just making sure all these holes are flush with the body of the blade, with the tang. So that's all this step is for. All right, so now all 5 of those are done. There's all the holes are drilled. Oh, ow. All the holes are drilled. All the flats are sanded. The sharpening choils are all in there, and I have my centerline marked. I'm going to throw the bevels on here, and then we'll go and heat treat it. All right, now I got all those rough, ow, hit my head again. I got all those rough ground in, all 5 of them. I'm not gonna heat treat them all at once. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 at a time. I don't have a big batch of Parks oil, Parks 50, so I don't want my oil to heat up too much, so I'll do 2, let it cool down for a little bit, do 2 more. But I'll show you guys 1. I'll do 1 and I'll do the rest however the hell I want to off camera. All right, guys, we're over here in the dungeon area again. I'm going to continue this saga by heat treating these 5 blades. I got to tweak the flame a little bit, make it a little hotter. So you don't need to know that. So let me get the forge started. I'm moving it around a lot because with the single burner, it heats one spot and one side. If I just leave it in there, then it'll warp. So I move it around, try to heat it more evenly and slowly. Then it keeps its shape. Almost there. Double check. Okay, we're there. I'll give it some more time in there. Oop, that was the flame. All right, I'm gonna heat these 4 the same, and then we're gonna throw them in the tempering oven. So I'll see you there. I went ahead and heated up the other 4 and quenched them and put them all in the clamp. The last one's cooling right now in the clamp, and I'm gonna put them all in the oven together. This is around 385 or something like that, not quite 400. I'm gonna put them in there for 2 cycles, 400 degrees for 2 hours each. So we'll come back whenever that's done and we'll get them out. You want to see me put them in there? All right, we'll put them in there. 5 blades, 1 oven. I'll see you in about 4 hours. I got other shit to do. All right, guys, welcome back. I got the, yeah, welcome back. Hey, guys, they're all out of the oven. All right, so now I'm going to sand down, clean these up, and when I'm done with that, we'll throw some bevels on them. Hey, Siri, play something. All right, just like that. Both sides are done. They're not perfect, but just removing the gunk from the forge. So I'm gonna repeat that 4 more times. All right, I went ahead and I got all the flats cleaned up. Not perfect, but just flat so I can work from. We'll finish them up later. I started doing some of the bevels on them. I got them up. They're not finished, but they're set into place. I just got to bring it closer to the edge. These ones are not. They just have my first bevel on them. So these ones need done. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to do that now. Put on a new belt and have at it. All right, I got all those bevels ground in and took them up to 220, and they're all looking pretty good. I just got to go ahead and hand sand the couple of facets that are still in there. But these are going to be ready for logos here. That's a good idea. I got this piece of rosewood left over when I was trying to make guitars. I could put that on the edge of my bench when I hand sand so I don't run the risk of impaling myself on a knife. We're going to try it. I'm not going to show you the whole process. You guys don't need to see me struggle. All right, well, you get the idea. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm not going to record it because you don't need me heavy breathing for 2 hours, so we'll be back. All right, I went ahead and finished all those, hand sanded them, and I threw them on the Scotch-Brite wheel. I like my bevels to be satin, so we've I throw the flats on that 240 there, crisp up the lines, and we'll see about going up to 400. And some of these I'm going to stone wash, so I'll stop at the 220. You know, whatever. We'll figure it out. Ouch. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
Bruh.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes. Oh, she's going to be mad. I'm going to go ahead and finish all the other ones up, but that's all I'm doing. It's a bushcraft knife, so it doesn't have to be super pretty, but you know, when you get it, you want it to look good, so that's all. What the hell am I? I'm doing three of them with no finish and 2 of them in a stone wash finish. So I'm just going to go over putting the logo on real quick, or how it's supposed to happen. Sometimes it doesn't work for me, but we're going to try it. This is how you do it. Tape the stencil to the knife and tape it good. Now I want to use the positive side to ground the knife, and the negative side is the one that actually does the etching. This is just salt water, nothing fancy. Q-tip, wet the Q-tip. Just go over it a few times like that. Disconnect everything. Remove the stencils. All right, there we go. Got a logo in there. All right, now this one's getting a stone wash finish, but I'm going to show you what I do if it wasn't a stone wash. I take brass black. I take the other end of the Q-tip. Put it all inside that logo. Let it react for a second. Wash it off and resand it. You can see the logo pop a little bit more. So, all right, I'm going to complete the last 4, and then we'll meet up again. That's finally done. Oh, that was such a pain in the ass. I need a better system. All right, here's what we got. These are going to be stone washed, and I'll show you how I do that. I'm going to clean these off with alcohol so that there's no oils on it, because you need the oil off for the etching process. Jar of acid. Clean off any of the oils. We take the knife, put it in the acid, and then we let it sit. All right, you take them out. They look like this. Neutralize it in some water and baking soda, and I'll scrub it down with a medium Brillo pad. Some water, Brillo. And then you end up with something like that. Still gray, still got a patina to it. Next we'll throw it in a water bottle with some stones at WD-40, and I just shake it up. So I'll show you that. Let me clean off this other one. If you guys have watched any of my videos, you know that I've started this out, you know, as cheap as I could. So I don't have a tumbler to do the stone washing. What I use is I have a water bottle. inside that water bottle, rocks. Spray it with some WD-40, throw it in the rocks, and just do that for several minutes. Action shot. That's how I do it. And you do it for a while and then you stop. The longer you go, the more weathered it'll look, but you get the idea. You just do that till you're happy. So I got those 2 stone washed, and all 5 of these are ready for scales. Now I just need to pick the handle material. I think I'm going to do G10. I like G10 the best. Richlight's pretty nice. Makes a nice light knife. We have this cool blue color, and we have this cool, I like this color. It's got a different color in it. I'm not sure what color's in it. It's more than one color. And these 2 are going to be Richlight. These are the ones that are getting no finish. They're just going to be straight metal. This one's going to be purple and black. I'm going to start with the purple on the outside. All these are going to be black on the inside, with probably black liners. This one's white and black. Same deal. It's going to be white on the outside, black towards the center. And the final one is camo, green and brown. I think there's 3 colors in there, so shit, I don't know. I think I'll do the brown out. I haven't decided. So then all those are going to get Corby fasteners. So I'll go through the process with the one. I'm not going to finish them all. I'm going to get them all with the scales glued up. They're going to be on, not final shaped. Drilling the holes, lining up the holes, tracing out the handle. Rough cutting it out on the bandsaw, and then attaching it. So first things first, we're doing liners. I need to make the liners. Should I do white on this one? I'm gonna try it. All right. Let me zip these off on the bandsaw real quick. I'm gonna rough them up a little bit. Scratch up the surface. Take some remover, nail polish remover, clean the surface. All right, let's mix up some epoxy. 5-minute epoxy, check. Put it on there, and then I'm gonna clamp them. Something like that. And hurry up and do the other one before this dries. All right, then repeat that for each one, respectively. All right, now that these have set up, I put the liner part on the belt sander to make sure it's flat, because when we drill the holes, it helps so things don't get buggered up. Next step is to tape these together. A little bit of masking tape, like so. Throw a little bit of CA glue, a little bit of super glue, and some activator on this son of a gun. Can you see that? Yep. Line up the fronts. Stick them together. These are Corby fasteners. See, I wrote Corby on there because I always forget the name. And they come apart like so. Now this part, this big part's 6 mil, and this inside part here is 4 mil. I'm going to go over to the drill. I'm going to take these 2 with me, and as I drill the first hole, I'll plug that. Drill the second hole, I'll plug it. Drill the third and the lanyard hole, and that way everything's lined up. All right, let's go. For the first one, I just make sure I got enough room towards the front to finish my scales where I want them. All right, I want these 4 millimeters to go all the way through. All the way through. All right. Now once that hole's in there, like I said, I'll take and put my Corby fastener in there. Then I move up to the front hole and do the same thing. Put that Corby, this Corby in that hole, and now I can drill out the center. And none of this is going to move. This is all exactly where it's supposed to be. All right, now with those Corbys still in there, I'm going to switch over to a 6 mil. And I'm going to drill out my lanyard hole because I made my lanyard hole 6 mil for continuity because the pins are 6 mil. All right, so I'm going to drill all the way through with the 6 mil through the lanyard hole. Before I take these Corby fasteners out, mark where I want to cut over on the bandsaw. So I mark around the blade. After I get it marked, I no longer need the Corby fasteners and the blade. Now this step, I only want to go through about halfway one layer. There's enough meat in there that when you tighten the Corby fasteners together, they will hold inward. Then we can cut it out. So all those go through, not all the way through, but you know, you've watched the video this far, you know what the hell's going on. Now we go over here to our super cool thing, cut out to my marks. All right, now this is the step where I figure out I'm gonna mark on here where I want my scales to be. See that half circle there, that semicircle? I'm gonna take that off. That's about where I want my scales. It's actually a little past where I want them, but I gotta sand them after this. So I'm gonna take that off. So I rounded it off. It goes like that, so it goes past where I want it to. It's good. So I'm gonna square this up, like so. Looks good enough to me. All right, and I'm gonna round this off. I want to take it down pretty close to like 0. I want the white to kind of stick out on the blade a little bit. Set this at an angle. I actually went a little far for my liking because my first pin is going to be right at the end of that. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not f***ed up. Let's break them apart. We'll see. I hope it's not. We are exactly where we are a minute ago, except I have different colored scales that I did every step to this point again, and I didn't F these ones up. So here's the old ones. They're F'd up. All right, see how close that is to the front of the knife? I don't like that. That was too steep of an angle. Everything else was fine. It would have been fine. So I did this. I did a little steeper of an angle on there, so it's more rounded and doesn't go back as far. Yeah, so once you get to this point and you don't mess it up, I just keep going up in grit. And I did that with this. So, because once this is done, once this is on the knife, you can't really do much to it. What do we do now, you ask? Figure it out together. We got a knife. We got scales. A little bit Corby fasteners on it. 5-minute epoxy. Do I want to do 5-minute epoxy? No, but we're going to do it. You guys want to see it? You're getting it. 5-minute epoxy, just for you. Rough up the inside. Oh my God, I got a good idea. I'm going to put gloves on this time. Now we clean off the blade. It's important to get the squeeze out because obviously once it's hardened, you're F'd in the A. It's all right. So now we're at this step. We're going to let it dry, and I'm going to repeat the process again. No more F-ups like this, but I'll show you what I got so far. Got the black and white, camo and ivory. We got the maroon and ivory, and the blue and ivory. Those were the remaining 4 sets. Sucks I screwed up this purple. I might be able to use it for something, maybe something personal, like something I'm not going to sell. That's unfortunate. All right, I got all 5 of the knives at the same spot. They're all cut out, epoxied, pinned, and I cut the pins off on all of them. Sometimes I grind them down on the sander, but this time I took them on the bandsaw because you have to be careful not to heat them up too much. And it was just quicker to hit them on the bandsaw. So let's see where we're at. Let's take a look. So where we're at now, I'm going to make these completely flush. So I have a flat surface for when I bring the sides down to the metal. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a lot of dust today. Let me show you on one of them and I'll finish the rest. See, now it's completely flat. So now I can take it over and bring everything down to the metal. Come here, square. Oh, it's right here. Found it. All right. All right, put your mask on because you're going to make dust. All right, now that that's done, this is an important step to not forget. You want to go drill out the lanyard hole for any squeeze out of epoxy into there, because it's a lot easier to drill it out when it's flat. So I'm going to do that real quick. I'll be right back. Lanyard hole is good. All right, so the next step, we're going to mark some lines. So let's do that. Compass, check. Like so. Same thing, all the way around. Here you go. I got some lines on there. Recording sucks. Just want you to know that. I think that's 45 right there. It gives me such a big gap. So we're going to bring it in a little bit. Something like that. Let's see. What kind of angle? What angle is that? That is about 55 degrees. That's what it's at. All right. I went ahead and broke the 90s from here, gave it a little bit of a shoulder, and thinned it out towards the bottom for your hand, and thinned it out a little bit towards the blade, so it's got a little taper there towards the blade. I'm going to finish the other ones up to this point. Feels good in the hand. And then we're going to start hand sanding. Well, let's take a look at them. There we go. There is the 5 knives so far. This one's pretty cool. I didn't realize. I just thought it was red and like maybe white striped, like just by the top, but it's red, white, and blue. This would be a good one if you're into Penn State or something, but that's just blue and white. Here's the camo one. And the blue one looks pretty good too. It's blue, but the different layers are slightly different colors. And then we have this black and white one. Right now it looks like there's some red in between the black and the white, but that might just be from the sandpaper. We'll see. Now I gotta go ahead and hand sand all these, smooth them all out. That's never fun, but that's where I'm at. I'll check back with you guys once I get these all hand sanded and finished, I guess. Once they're hand sanded, they're done. I'll come back when they're all finished and we'll look at the finished product. I took all 4 of those knives, I shaped them, and I hand sanded them. And I didn't show you guys the whole hand sanding process, but I did figure out something that I had forgotten. Richlite is a pain in the ass. It wants to burn. It's harder than G10. It's lightweight, which is cool for the finished product, but getting it here sucks. Let's take a look. Obviously I still have to sharpen these and I got to make sheaths for them, but I just wanted to show the final product. Let's take a look at what we got. Let's do them one at a time. This one is Richlite. Good lightweight material. This is like perfect for a Penn State fan or something. It's just navy blue and ivory. Stone washed finish. It's a nice knife. Feels good in the hand. They all feel good in the hand. I like the shape I did. This is the white and black one. It's turned out pretty good too. Just in time for Beetlejuice, I guess. got nice thick black liners on it too. Again, that's a cool looking knife too. Here's the blue and gold one we were working on. That thing looks real good. And I didn't notice, but you can kind of see the different layers of the G10. Some are just a touch lighter. Like I said, I don't know if the pattern goes opposite ways and why it's showing up like that, but you can see it. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. See that? That's cool. Here's a straight up camo. Same deal. Layered G10. This is, I think that's also ivory. Maybe it's white. That turned out as expected for camo. This one's my favorite so far. I just expected this one to be burgundy. So I did burgundy and some ivory liners. But this son of a bitch, it's red, white, and blue. Like, that is not what I expected. Not at all what I expected. But man, that's a good looking knife. This one's also stone washed. So these are done. I just have to put an edge on them and make the sheath. So I probably make a video of me making a sheath now. It's going to be separate. So this is one of two. This is part one. This is the Bushlore part of the build. The next part is going to be the Rat Bastards. So I'm going to do 5 Rat Bastards, and it's going to be the same thing. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you guys on one, and then I'm going to repeat it for the other 4 because nobody wants to watch me do this for 4 hours on YouTube. I can barely get people to watch for 15 minutes. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I appreciate you guys stopping by for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe like always. And remember, if nobody told you they love you today, I love you. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I am a loser, no-name guy on YouTube that's just trying to sell some knives and entertain people. Hopefully I did get that done. I accomplished that job. Everybody take a bow and exit stage left. Yeah, that's left. Is this left? Oh, focus. Focus, bro. Do you not see this giant thing in front of you? You don't see that? Alright guys, thanks for stopping by. That's the video.